Well, hey, rail fans and model railroaders. Welcome back to another episode of Getting Back on Track with Steve
and Roxy. So last week we had a kindergarten art class, got out the sculpting mold and worked it all up on the mountain. This week, I think we're ready to get that painted.
So what we're looking for is this picture of the Dunsmuir Craigs. Now these are all granite-topped mountains, and you can see there's a lot of dark and light in this, and that's the look what we're going for. So it's going to take a lot of layers, but I think we can do it. With that being said,
let's get this work done.
So first we want to get some dark shades into all the cracks and crevices to highlight those areas. So I'm going to take some acrylic paint and water it way down, and we'll paint these areas up. And we don't worry too much about getting in down on the plaster because that's going to be covered itself with more of the earth tones and rock and dirt and stuff. So as we're adding the black, you can see a lot of the little striations that we put into it. Makes it really stand out, so when we add additional layers, hopefully these little striations will really stand out even with the other colors going on. So I've been real nervous when it comes to doing this painting part because I've never done this, and I'm really concerned that all this work we've done and we're going in the wrong direction. It's not going to come out. But I got to keep telling myself the worst case scenario is I hate it, doesn't look good, and I just repaint it again. But, that's how you gain experience doing things. And really, that's been the whole theme of this whole railroad, is something I've never done. But it's a learning experience. Okay. So let's get some of these areas along here. Okay. Okay, now moving around to the side of the mountain. I'm going to go ahead and continue working all this area in here. Of course, this is the area where we have the hydrocal rock we made. Now I'll just take a little wet water, just spray this up a little bit. Make sure it's in there real good. Okay, now we just let her dry. We'll get on to the next coat. Okay, so after we've let this black dry a little bit, we're just going to use a bristle brush. We're putting a little bit of a gray color in, and we're going to try and see if we can do some dry brushing on this. So I'm going to get just a tiny bit on there. Maybe I'm wiping too much off. You can see how our black kind of stands out here. So get some more paint in here. We'll be doing this in numerous layers here. Numerous layers, different shades of gray. As we can see, as the colors start coming out a little bit, and we can see a little more, we'll keep adding lighter and lighter shades, but it's just allowing these cracks to really show up and showing some of the detail of the rock in here. All right, we're gonna go with the next coat now. We're gonna use a lighter gray. This one's called Timeless Gray. It's a bit lighter color. If I can get the lid to pop up, there we go. And we'll do it using the same technique. We're gonna do a dry brush on this again. It just brings out more of the contours and all the things we're looking for. All right. Okay, we're ready for the next coat. And we're gonna go with a lighter gray yet. This one is a country gray. So it's just a continuing lighter and lighter and lighter. And just kind of layering up. We'll just keep doing the brush on it. And we'll just keep doing the dry brush effect on here. Way too much. Well, it's just looking a little more rock-like each time. Okay, so in keeping with the theme, we're gonna go progressively lighter. This time, oop, I grabbed the wrong one. Hold on here. There it is. So this time we're going with a granite gray. And this is a bit lighter yet. And we're just gonna keep scrubbing away on it. Well, this is looking more and more like rocks. See if we can get a little closer look here. Yeah, I think I'm liking the look here. All right, so we've got all the different layers and colors in there. It's looking pretty good, I think. So the last thing we want to do is we want to use a little bit of this titanium white. So I've got a soft body acrylic. It's a titanium white, and we'll get just touch real super lightly here. We don't want to overwhelm the granite appearance. So just a tiny bit of the white. We'll see how this goes. We want to just barely touch things with it. Yeah, I think that looks good. Yeah, it just kind of provides a little bit of a highlight on the rock. I'm kind of liking how that looks. Get a little more paint down here. Yeah, that just kind of brings out the highlight to everything. So let's go ahead and take another closer look here again. Just come down around over here. See how it just kind of highlights everything? Yeah, it's looking pretty good, I think. So all this white up in here, we're gonna take and we'll use the same brown color we've been using for all of our other ground areas. And I think this is looking pretty good. I think once we get to the part where we're putting in the ground cover and some little tufts of grass and weed and small trees coming up in the cracks, and I think this is going to look great. Okay, now the next step we want to do is we want to go ahead and get our ground cover colored put in. So as you all might recall, got this big old bucket of brown here. We've been painting all the pink foam with. So we're just going to continue using that, same thing. And we're going to come through and we're going to paint over all this foam and all this white. Now, I've had some people tell me that they take and they add a pigment to their Sculptamold and their plaster. And I'm thinking, you know, that would be probably a good thing because it would save some of these steps. And I don't know if you could just add just paint. But that's okay. We got lots of this brown paint. We'll just give a good coat on here. And we got other ground covers we're going to be putting on. We'll be using some dirt and some grout mixed in. And then we got a lot of ground foam. So there's still a lot of scenic work to get done here. But, you know, we'll just keep plugging along. And hopefully you guys will just keep joining us and following along. Yeah, and, you know, actually, you probably don't absolutely have to put this paint down because we're going to be putting dirt and ground foam and stuff and a bunch of other ground cover in here. But it seems, you know, want to make sure that you don't miss an area and get all done and have a little spot of white sticking out at you. And so it just makes more sense to go ahead and do this painting. And being as I got so much of this paint, why not? Or along this backdrop, I think I need Roxy's steady hand. That's all right, I can come back and I can touch a lot of this stuff up again. And it's gonna be good not to have all this white looking at us. The light up above here, I've had it off when we're doing videos because with all the white, it just washes the video out. Something fierce, just looks really bad. A lot of these areas in here would be putting back some of the little chipped up pieces of foam that I did. I've saved it and we're gonna turn around and make rock out of it so we can make some talus slopes, and I think that's a good use of all that chipped away foam that I did earlier making this mountain. And again, I don't know as I really need to be painting all this, but I'm going to do it anyways because You know, we're going to have a snow shed through a lot of this area, but you know, why not? Alrighty, I think that's going to do it. Let me go cap this bucket of paint before I spill it all over the place.
Well, there you go. We're so glad to have this mountain finally painted, to get rid of all the extra white and even all the pink. So this color here doesn't quite match our rocks we've got going on, but it's just a base color where we're going to add more ground cover and things that are going to go with these rocks here. The main point was to get things covered so that we could get started on that.
Yeah, and I am really glad to be rid of all that white. It didn't look good on camera, and it's just blinding to look at it in real life. But I got to say, I'm really happy with the process that we used for this, where every single layer, as we put it on, the rock more and more came to life.
Mm-hmm.
When I first put down the black, I was a little panicky, but then the next pewter gray that we used, it kind of jumped out a little more. And with every single lighter color, it just more and more rock light. So I'm really happy with that that particular process, and I think it came out really well. Of course, we got more work to do on the landscaping, but this whole mountain is just going to be a great focal point on this layout.
We're so excited about it.
So with all this work being done, we're going to go ahead and move on down towards the river scene, across the bridge, and work up to the mountain tunnel on the other side that'll go back through the backdrop. So that'll be our work starting next time. But in the meantime, you guys have a good time running your trains and working on your layouts.
Make sure you hit like and subscribe so you're notified of our next video.
And we'll see you back again here next time on Getting Back on Track with Steve
And Roxy. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.